Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Ashley Kay, and today you are watching me work in my reading journal. Now, I did this on 2 different days. So if you watched my last journal with me, I did this during that time, but I cut it out just for time reasons. And so I figured that tonight when I worked on it again, I should record it and just put it up in its own video. So I am doing 6 total books, and how I do my reading journal is probably a bit different than you see other people. I'm working in a very small journal that I got from Lynn's Life Etsy shop. I'll link it down below. And it's small and it does the job, and I don't hate it. I think next year I might work in something a little bit bigger, just because I kind of want to try and do some reading challenges and I want to keep track of those, but this has worked perfectly for what I have wanted. So I am doing 6 books, like I said. The first one that you see is a little book of Latin American stories, like fairy tales, folk tales, that I got from the junior section one day when I was picking books out with my son. It was all right. The stories were, what you expect for folk tales, like warning, cautionary tales. And it was okay. The next one on the page that you see is Divergent. And I really liked that one. I have never read that before. That came out, I don't know how old I was, high school maybe. And I just never read it. It didn't interest me, but I ended up reading it in September. Yes, in September. And it was good. It kept my attention. It kept me wanting to go back to it. I listened to that one on Audible. Or not on Audible, but on Libby. So it was an audiobook. And the audiobook was really good. It was a lot of fun. Very well done with the narration. The Hate You Give was fantastic. I highly recommend it for everyone, all the time. It's beautiful. If you want to talk about it sometime, let me know. I really enjoyed Angie Thomas's other book that I read earlier this year, Concrete Rose, which is like the prequel to The Hate You Give. And now I'm back writing about Divergent. Sorry. But so The Hate You Give was really great. I read it in October for my book club. I co-host a book club with an old coworker, but I kind of put in a lot of the work, and it just is a lot for one person to try and run a book club virtually, especially when the majority of people are not in my time zone. So that kind of flopped, which is unfortunate, but I really loved the book. I really enjoyed Angie Thomas. If you want to talk about either of those books, I would love to talk to them about you. This little bookshelf in the front of my book journal, I don't know if I've ever told you, a pen pal sent that to me. So I'm just filling it out. She drew it and drew in the books and sent it to me. And so I just filled it out with the books that I've read so far this year. And every time I work in my journal, I add some books into it. It's wonderful. I really like it. I want to make a bigger one for my bigger journal next year. The issue with this small one is I have very big handwriting. If you have not noticed, my handwriting is big and loopy. I have been told by teachers before that it's loud. I think I've mentioned that in different videos. And if you notice while I write, I hold my pencil wrong. I have been told many a time by many a teacher and many a coworker, and it's even been put in like my notes for teaching reviews and such. It's just how I hold my pencil, and I'm not planning on changing it, so sorry. Anyway, what else can I tell you about how I do my book journal? So I guess I can talk about how I started the book journal putting the pictures on like the outside of the pages, but it kind of made the journal a little lumpy to like write on. So I switched it, and now the books are like, the pictures are in the spine. I print off the book pictures like I do my pictures for journaling, and I just do it via the app that I use, which is Pick something. I can look that up. And then I just send them to Walgreens. And I put them on a 4x6. PhotoGrid is the app. It's a free app to use, and it's got some bells and whistles you can pay for. But that's how I print those pictures. And then the book that I'm doing right now is The Silent Patient. I really loved this book. If you like thrillers or mystery or like whodunit type books, this one might be yours. It does have to do with a mental asylum and some mental illness, so be warned about that. I was not crazy about how they categorized the mental illness, but I think that's just because it was a male author trying to write from a female perspective. Sometimes they don't do it great. Survive the Night was also really awesome. I really enjoyed that one. If you kind of like the vein of, thriller again, I would suggest this one, but again, with the like mental illness. That's just what I have to say. There was also mention of cancer and murder, if that upsets you, in Survive the Night, and then murder in The Silent Patient also. And then the last book that I have, Five Total Strangers, was, again, in the same vein. I just had a thing going on, thriller, suspense. And this one is about five strangers who rent a car together to get through a snowstorm and get home. Kind of like Home Alone, except less funny, I guess. And one of them ends up actually being a stalker of another one, and you kind of have to go through the danger of these five strangers in the car together and trying to figure out what's going on and who's who. It was all right. It was not as good as the other two, but I do recommend it if you kind of like those things. It was an easy read. I did all three of those with audiobooks, and the narrators were wonderful. And I think that's about all I have to say about these books and this book journal. I did meet my goal of 36 books. I think I'm actually almost to 40. But if this was your kind of video, I hope that you enjoyed it. If you would like to see other journaling type videos, please go ahead and subscribe. I try to put videos out every week, except when I have, issues that I can't get through. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope that we can journal again sometime soon. Please check out my Instagram if you'd like to see some pictures of the things that I do, and I will journal with you all again really soon. Thank you so much for coming on this journey with me. Have a good night.